I wanted to document just how dirty a Desert Eagle gets after shooting, roughly 30 rounds, I think, is what I shot. But these are really, really dirty after shooting one quick trip to the range. So, just for laughs, let's take a look. Okay. I don't know if you could tell here. I think you can, but you'll see when we start pulling this apart. There's a slide. There's the gas piston, return springs, and the barrel. So what I like to do is I like to hit it with the industrial strength hops number 9, old-fashioned, pure solvent, no lubricants, just to get a good idea of how dirty this is. Well, and I hit it with this stuff right the first swath because I mean this is so caked on. It's look at this. It's really unbelievable the crud after 30 rounds, really. I mean, I think it's just really the design of the gun and nothing else. It's because it's a gas blowback gun, and the pickup spots for the gas, I think I showed on a previous video, the pickup spot is just inside the chamber here, and the gas goes through here, out here, and it pushes the piston back. So these run extremely dirty, and so I like to get this initial crud. The thing is, though, you have to obviously clean the barrel with look at this. Clean the barrel with something like a lubricant cleaner, a CLP type of thing. But it always amazes me just how much crud. Look, I mean, this is 30 rounds. Here's the spring. This is roughly 30 round trip to the range. Okay, I just like to hit it really quick here first. Check that out. It's insane. Again, you gotta really be careful when you use hops number 9, the old-fashioned good stuff, because it's a solvent. It's definitely a solvent. You know, it's like old school before they had CLP stuff. You went in, you degreased, and then you oiled. I don't really do, look at this. I don't really do this with anything but the Desert Eagle cleaning because you just don't need it. I mean, guns don't get this dirty. So if you own one, you know what I'm talking about. If you're getting one, this is what you have to look forward to. Okay, after every outing, I won't do all the gory details of cleaning this because it's just too, I mean, it's probably a half hour to clean this thing. I mean, I spend like well, a whole lot less on anything else. Now the other way to do it is spray it with something like this, hang it over a bucket and just spray it and blast it. And that works too, but I'm doing it this way just to kind of demonstrate. And it works just as good, obviously, but this is really, I mean, how many guns that you fire 30 rounds through look like this? If you don't own one of these, this is kind of what you're in for. It's worth it though, right? Now again, this is hops number 9. This is kind of what you need to really blast through this crud. And it's caked. This is one trip to the range. One trip. This thing was perfectly clean before this little trip. Now I'll skip all the, getting into each little crevice here. I'll do that off camera, but it's time consuming. It's a pain, but that's what you put up with these. I can't stress the importance of the use of a real CLP after you're done hitting it with this stuff. Now, as far as the barrel, I could use a hops 9 and then the old-fashioned oil. Could. Sometimes I do, but the barrels don't get that bad. I mean, they really don't. So now that we have this pretty much cleaned up, just kind of throw it together here. And a couple things to keep note when you're putting this thing together that I'll try to point out here. Now, these things do not need to be bathed in oil, okay, when they're reassembled. I've heard some people say, oh, they need lots of oil and lots of grease and all that. No, that is not true. They just need the oil in the key spots. A good rule of thumb is when you see any exposed, you can kind of see here along the edge here where it does touch, but more importantly in here, anywhere where you see like here and here, your obvious parts on the slide that are going to come in contact with each other, you want to make sure they're well lubricated. There's a couple of key areas that are very critical that you put together correctly here. Okay, so the easiest way to put these together, first of all, you want to lube the key areas here. Right in there, you'll notice, not scuffing, but you'll see where it comes in contact. And anywhere it comes, you see any contact, you don't want to douse it, but you want to have some lubricant there. Okay. And then on the frame itself, just along here, very lightly. Okay, light film oil. That's all you need. Now here's the critical part still when you oil. First of all, you want to oil the piston, the gas piston, fairly well. And you want to inspect it before putting it in every time. Okay, so you want to make sure that's got plenty of lube. Not grease, just light oil. Okay, this goes in here. Now it's very important, there's a big notch and a small notch, and the big notch here goes on the side. And then the small notch is up here to clear the spring. So you lay that in very gently. Make sure the big notch is on the side, the flat notch is there. Then you take the spring and you lube here a little bit more. This only really goes in one way, so you can't screw it up. But this is kind of critical here where it's very, very delicate. You got to put that in, and that goes right in the slot. I'd move my finger, but it'll fall out. Now you want to make sure the springs are, they're spread apart a little bit, but not too much, like there, about there. And you want to make sure you got the oil just on right here, part of the slide. And this part is a little tricky here, and this kind of comes from experience. The frame upside down, this is the easiest way it goes in. Kind of wiggle it in there, and that'll go in there. Now, this is the part you got to make sure in here, these springs go in the little notch in there. There and there. You want to hold this down and hold this all together there. Okay? Springs are in the sockets. Everything's together. Now take the barrel. The barrel's going to go right in that notch. Okay? It's going to go right in the notch. Okay? And as you can see in here, the piston is going to go right in the slot. Hold it down, lock it, that's it. Okay? And that's pretty much that. Nice and lubed. You can see some lube here, a little bit of lube here. If you don't, maybe put a couple drops here and here. Just a couple. Here and here. You can see the gas piston in there. Okay, and that's it. Lightly oiled, ready to go. And remember, this is the old school bore cleaner. It's a solvent. Do not forget to oil anything that this touches that's inside, that's machined, obviously. So that's pretty much it on what you have to do after every trip to the range. 30 rounds. It's pretty dirty. That's it.